Why do you think those two Urgles were still in Yazwak? Book 1, Eragon, Chapter 20, Magic is the Simplest Thing. Welcome to Eragon and Back Again, a podcast where we explore Christopher Paolini's inheritance cycle one chapter at a time. I'm Lucy Hart.
And I'm Darien Smartt.
And we tackle more magic.
Magic!
I gotta stop doing it. I'm so bad at that. But yes, magic!
Magic!
But yeah, so I am, we get more into magic stuff. But before we do that, do you have an inspiration or geode?
I have an inspiration.
Yay!
Can I do Fionna and Cake again?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
there's nothing saying we can't double dip. Let's go.
Okay, because the last time I did it, I just started watching. I watched the first 2 episodes with DJ.
Yeah.
So now I've finished it, and it's just so good.
Oh, yay.
And it's so, it's like a limited series, so it's just these 10 episodes, and it is like a because it's Adventure Time lasted for 8 seasons and did so much lore and so much story and world building and so fleshed out these characters and had incredible, emotional, goofy as hell arcs.
Yeah.
And in the end, most things were really wrapped, or it set up that this world was going to continue past this story, and that's what Distant Lands was been like. They've been 40-minute, hour-long specials, following up with different characters and introducing other ideas of the world, and that's been very cool. But Fionna and Cake is this direct sequel.
Yeah.
Following up very specifically on this one element that had never been answered, which is, what is the deal with the Fionna and Cake stories that Ice King told?
Yeah.
Because at first, it was just this very silly, Ice King is crazy.
And writing fanfic.
And is writing fanfic about the people in his life.
Yep.
And then there was this instance where there was this woman who was claiming to be old Fionna because she watched these stories on a television.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
Because these are just supposed to be gingerbit fanfics of the characters that live in this world.
Yeah.
And that episode ends with us seeing Fionna and Cake images being literally beamed into Ice King's mind.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a plot that had never gotten picked up again.
Yeah.
So this story does that. Answers that question very quickly, actually very satisfactorily.
Yeah.
But in a way that also expands on what the rest of the plot of these episodes is. And it's so interesting coming into no spoilers, but very light spoilers for vibes.
Yeah.
But you get in, and when Fionna and Cake are in Ice King's head, their world is magic because it's the land of is magic.
Yeah.
But Ice King was once this guy named Simon Petrikov, and all that magic came from this corrupting ice crown that he doesn't have anymore, and so he's just Simon Petrikov again.
Yep.
And so the world of Fionna and Cake in his mind is not magic anymore.
Yep.
And when things happen, all of a sudden Fionna and Cake do end up in the land of and Fiona's over here my world is supposed to be magic. Oh my gosh, I knew it.
Yeah.
And they go through all these things, and she has this kind of growth moment where in the end it is the question of do I actually need my world to be magic to make it special?
Yeah.
And we get there's 2 characters, Marceline and Princess Bubblegum, who for long implied to have been in a romantic relationship at one point in time, but was never formally canonized.
Yeah.
Because cartoon having to follow a bunch of rules, but at the end they do kiss, and then Obsidian, one of the Distant Lands spinoffs, is very specifically their relationship.
Yeah.
It's very good. And so you have their gender-bent versions of Bubblegum, Gumball, who in this world is a guy named Gary, and Marshall Lee.
Yeah.
And I love their story so much because those 2 characters have never been formally canonized as a couple.
Yeah.
And Fionna and Cake does that in such a beautiful way. And suddenly watching that episode where these 2 characters actually get together, they meet and they have a wonderful relationship. And all of a sudden, I don't want the world to be magic because what if they aren't together anymore? It's suddenly this world is special and magical just the way it is. And I'm haha, the gays did it again. You're welcome.
Yeah.
But when Fionna comes back and sees them, and they are worried that wait, if you bring back magic, are we even going to remember each other?
Yeah.
And so the idea of is magic actually inherently necessary for your world to be special?
Yeah.
And the idea of Fionna taking control of her world as it is and determining that it is special enough to fight for.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful and wonderful because it's Adventure Time, because that series is very much for kids.
Yeah.
Right? For 7 through 12, and other people, obviously it's a great story. But that's what it is. You have a young boy and his dog in a magical land fighting monsters and saving princesses and having fun adventures.
Yeah.
And Fionna and Cake was very much a story for adults.
Yeah.
In a sense that even the themes are more adult, which I think I said when I mentioned it before, but it kind of like that idea of like when you're a kid, you want life to be magic because that would be amazing. And as an adult, you still kind of want that too.
Yep.
But learning to embrace the world as it is and acknowledging that that in and of itself can be magic.
Yeah. And
it was really beautiful and really wonderful and something I'm going to have to unpack with my therapist.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fionna and Cake, so good. And the hard thing is I want to watch it with my girlfriend now, but she has not seen all of Adventure Time. And I'm but you kind of need to see all of Adventure Time to like, I could explain it to you, but like the emotional impact of this, like, but Simon and Betty and Fionna and Cake and Jake and Finn and Gumball and Bubblegum and Marceline. Listen, it's just, I guess.
It's a lot.
After our flag means death, we're just going to have to watch Adventure Time and that's fine.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
Yeah, I just went up. It was beautiful and it makes me want to write things that can have that sort of growth in the long-term story where you can have this eloquently beautiful story and also see it still fit in with this grander tale and how things change and can be valuable.
Absolutely.
That's not to say my stories are not magic. Of course I want to write urban fantasy, queer romance, magical nonsense.
Yeah.
But the idea that like having the mundane be the thing you fight for, I think is incredibly important.
Oh, I like that too. Very much so. So my inspiration, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I could do this as an inspiration, but my inspiration this time around is our podcast.
What? I thought I was the only one breaking the rules today.
Nah.
Our podcast?
Yeah, because it was like, I was thinking about, because like we, like, I guess like peeking behind the curtain a little bit, like we recorded a handful of episodes and then like we took a bit of a break and now we're recording a little bit more all in one go. And then hopefully from here on out we'll be recording more regularly. That's the word. But it was like I was thinking about just like writing tips and inspirations and also just like re-listening to like episodes and things like that. And it was just like, I want to write.
Yay!
And so it was just like just being able to get back into the mindset of a writer and analyzing stuff as a writer and thinking about writing stuff. And it had me thinking about like just the books or short stories that I want to write and finish and then edit so then I could maybe send them off to get published somewhere, someplace.
To be things that like give the story to other people to love.
So that was something that I was just thinking about. I was just like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know if that's allowed, but I'm going to say it.
We make the rules.
Absolutely.
Speaking of making rules.
Yes.
This chapter is all about rules.
All about rules. Magic rules. The best kind of rules.
Magic is the simplest thing. Time to learn about the magic system of the inheritance cycle.
Woo!
Brom expands Eragon's training to include magic as well as swordplay. As they travel, Eragon gradually improves in both.
Yep. And it's like, in that situation, like, not much happens in this chapter again, but I think, like, it's very weighty.
It's very meaty. We get so
it's
much.
A lot of meat. Yeah, absolutely. It really digs in there. And I do like the title. Magic is the simplest thing. Like, it's like, not really, but that's all right.
Like, and if you have the energy and know the word, you can use the magic, but also,
yeah, I think it's magic is a simple, it's meant to be a little bit ironic. I think that's what I'm looking for. It's meant to be just a little bit ironic because it's like, if you talk about it, you're like, yeah, it seems simple, but it's so much like more. And that was something that I highlighted, like, this is like what kind of a little further into the chapter, but Eragon actually realizes like this is a lot more complicated than I thought, and it's like yeah it is. So and Pauline just does a really good job with that as well, just explaining it. It is, again, it's heavy, but like when I was listening to it, I didn't feel bored. And it's very good.
I think it's also just the way Paulina writes prose.
I
think is because I think I have definitely read other stories wherein we get to the part where there is like someone explaining the way the magic system works, and I'm just like, it feels textbook.
Yeah.
Like it just feels really textbook. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess this is important. But I'm like not, I don't know, it loses its whimsy almost.
Yeah.
Because I think now would be a great time to talk about the nature of magic systems.
Yeah.
And so the inheritance cycle is incredibly hard magic system. There are really concrete rules.
Yep. And you can't, there's no wiggle room.
There's no wiggle room. And they're also very clearly outlined.
Yep.
And so you have, and oftentimes I think the hard magic systems are the one that can get that kind of like high fantasy, very like, oh, well, it's magic and it's only for the most well-versed and the studied and you must understand the mechanics and you must go to university and anyone who doesn't understand and just uses it wreck. And it's like, okay, but like it's still magic and I still live in a world that doesn't have magic. And while I just went off about the importance of like fighting for the mundane and finding magic there, also kind of wish I could do magic sometimes. So let me still make sure it's fun.
Yeah.
And I think Paolini does a great job. While like Brahm is explaining it, it just still feels whimsical. Yeah. Even when he's talking about, but if you fuck up, you'll die.
Yeah. It's like, it's this cool thing that can do a lot, but if you fuck up, you fuck up.
I also like, while it's like instructing us in the magic system and like kind of how it works, we get a little bit more about the limits of the knowledge. Like he also talks about the importance of knowing the ancient language.
Yeah, and they're inseparable.
And how it's like you cannot lie, essentially. And
that I love that. Sorry, I got really loud.
That's really cool.
I love that aspect where it's like it's almost like we were talking about in our last episode. Sorry, I'm kind of
go off.
Yeah, so it's like what we kind of mentioned in the last one where this language is like the language. It used to be spoken by everybody, but they kind of like diminished over time. And it's I just think it's so awesome that this language is not only so entwined with magic, it is inseparable, but it is entwined into the world's making itself. So of course you can't lie in it because it is the truth of the world.
Yes.
Like it is the world. And I love that so much because it's like not only did Paolini create this whole language from scratch or whatever he did with it.
Well, it's like he was something reading Tolkien.
Yeah. But he like created his own language and then was like magic system is going to fit into that, and then also just the world building and world building goes into that language is just so good. It's so good and I love it so much because he does Brahm tells the bird like, I won't hurt you. Yeah. And the bird lands on his finger like, all right, because
I believe you.
The animal like, I promise not to harm him. He may not have known exactly what I meant, but in the language of power, the meaning of my words was evident. The bird trusted me because he knows what all animals do, that those who speak in that tongue are bound by their word. And that is so good. It's so good. Chef kisses. It's just chef kisses all over.
And also, it's cool to note that so far when we see those like words of magic being used or being taught, they're italicized. Yep. But when when Brahm speaks to the bird, those sentences are not italicized. Yep. Because he's not, and I think that's a very good visual representation for when it is a spell, and the fact that this is also a living language. It's not just a collection of magic words. Yep.
I do like cool. The distinction between channeling magic and not channeling magic. Absolutely.
We get some elf stuff.
We do get some elf stuff.
It's mentioned that the elves are the one that brought the language to Allegasia. Yep. And Eragon is also like, oh, so the elves speak this language, which means they never lie. Well, not quite. They maintain that they don't, and in a way it's true. But they have perfected the art of saying one thing and meaning another. And it's like, yep, there it is. There's that Fae bullshit. Yep. Let's go.
Yeah, I do like that. It's like they can speak that language, but they have perfected it in a way that they can basically lie. It's not a lie.
It's the lie of omission. Or I said this, and just because you thought I meant this, that's not me lying. Yeah. Even though I knew you would think that, that's not my fault.
I didn't technically lie. It's very good. I do like that.
It's very good and just wild.
Yep. But before going on a little bit further, because I know that's it, I wanted to touch on how Brahm talks about why Eragon can use
yes,
magic.
Oh my gosh, let's yeah.
So it's
and more writer lore.
Yeah, absolutely. And he goes, I suppose you're still wondering about this magic. The fact that you've discovered it presents a thorny problem. Few know it, but every writer could use magic, though with different strengths. They kept the abilities secret even at the height of their power because it gave them an advantage over their enemies. Had everyone known about it, dealing with common people would have been difficult. Many think the king's magical powers come from the fact that he is a wizard or a sorcerer. That's not true. It is because he is a writer. And for me, that was like going back again to what I was talking about last chapter of my issue with Brahm is like, you can't learn magic. Like, you can't even think about using magic. And it's like, but now we know. And it's like, again, going back, we were like talking about how like he probably just said that out of anger and was like, okay, now
like fear,
concern. And stuff like that. But it's like with this, it's like, well, Eragon has to now. Yeah. Because if he goes into a fight with the king, heaven forbid, and the king has magical powers and Eragon has 0, then that's going to be a huge disadvantage. So Eragon, just in this aspect, like if we're to assume, again, we're in the first book, we don't know. We don't know.
Wouldn't it be wild if this like high fantasy series about a corrupt king ruling the empire and a young man who just got a dragon doesn't end with him fighting the king? Like, that's not spoilers. Yeah. That's just genre tropes.
So it's like in eventually when Eragon faces off with the king, like he's gonna have to know magic. It's like he's going to have to know magic. And I think like also that's just so good. Like Brahm is so realistic because he's like, you're never gonna learn magic, and then like, wait, no, actually, no, you are gonna have to okay.
I messed up. And I also love how it talks about young writers were trained to increase their like strength without realizing that's what these very Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, I really love that whole. Yes, I agree.
Yep, they were put through a strict regimen designed to strengthen their bodies and increase their mental control. And then like because they weren't ever told they could do magic, and if one of them discovered it accidentally, they were like, okay, we're gonna give you private tutoring, separate you from your friends.
Yep.
And I also love it's like, wait, well, hold on, how were they how'd they figure it out? Like if they were never told, they're like, okay, well, eventually the students were presented with a series of pointless exercises designed to frustrate them. For example, they were instructed to move piles of stones using only their feet, fill ever-draining tubes of water, and other impossibilities. After a time, they would get infuriated enough to use magic.
Yep.
Most of the time it succeeded.
Yep.
That's so funny.
It's so good.
So funny.
It's so good.
This was the order that kept like peace and well, this was the organization that kept order and peace in this kingdom.
Yep.
And they would just make their trainees be like, all right, kick this pile of rocks. Why? Kick this pile of rocks until they used
until they use magic. And it makes sense too, because like Eragon was able to use magic when he got angry at the orcs. And so it's kind of like that connection, the first release of like Eragon's, and I think like Brahm even says that they would never get a high pressure in which Eragon was in.
Yeah.
But it was still almost the same situation where emotions are running high and just it happens.
Yeah, there's just an instinctual of like, I have to like this. Why isn't it? I need to do it, but it's not. I'm getting so, and finally tapping into that thing that they didn't know they had.
Absolutely,
it's so funny.
It's so good. It's so good.
Funny. But I want to just jump back real quick. Again. It's back. This is Mr. Miyagi style training, and I love it.
It's so good.
Like, it's so funny.
Yeah.
But so Eragon, after they mentioned like the king can use magic because he's a writer, and Eragon's like, well, what's the difference? Doesn't the fact that I use magic make me a sorcerer? Not at all. A sorcerer, like a shade, uses spirits to accomplish his will. That is totally different from your power. Nor does it make you a magician, whose powers come without the aid of spirits or a dragon. And you're certainly not a witch or a wizard who get their powers from various potions and spells.
I love that.
What a fun little lore dump of the different magical creatures in this land.
Exactly. Then I actually, like I said, ooh, because we get a little bit of the shade. We're like, ooh, the shade,
Hey, there he is.
Yep, there he is. But what I really like is that there isn't one type of magic.
Yes.
There is multiple types of magic. And I love that. Like, there's not just one. I would feel like we don't really get much here, but I feel like probably the magic rules apply to everything. Like, if you overexert yourself, you're going to die. but there are different ways to accomplish that.
Yeah,
and I really like that.
Because Eragon is a writer and has the dragon, and dragons are inherently magical. I think that connection, Eragon's ability of magic, is coming from Saphira.
Oh, 1,000%.
Tapping into Saphira, or Saphira's influence over him is actually giving him magic.
Yep.
So it's not like he's draining energy from her. It does come from himself, but her presence with him has changed something with that he didn't have before.
Yep, absolutely.
And I think that's cool, but it's like this concept of like, well, shades use spirits and wizards, you know, do that, but without dragons or spirits, and then, or sorcerers do it. And then, wait, no, what was it? What does it make you? A magician does this. And then there are witches and wizards who just use powers from potions and spells. And it's like, are we going to hang out with witches and wizards and sorcerers and magicians? Like, where are the other magic people?
Yes, please.
Can we hang out with the other magic people? Like, what is this?
We need some cool magic people.
I'm so excited. So that's me again, just being like, there's other forms of magic? Like what? Other magic people?
Yes, please.
Not just, I'm so jazzed.
Yep.
So I want to know.
Very good.
But I also just love him being like, okay, but isn't just a sorcerer someone that can do magic? No, because spirits. What does that mean, Brahm? Where do the spirits come from? Are we talking about spirits of deceased, or is like this is a Brahm has no idea.
Brahm has no idea.
This is not.
Brahm
don't worry about that. We're just
Brahm
doing.
just knows the very basic. Like they come from spirits. All right, I got it.
We're doing dragon rider magic. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And I think this chapter, like one more really big piece of this chapter is the concept of a true name.
Yes, I did highlight that.
Yeah. And that
because it's can I jump in just real
Please.
fast? Yes, because it's like we're talking about how this language is truth and the truth of the world. So I think, and Brahms really approves of this because Eragon makes the connection of it could be someone's truth. He doesn't necessarily, I don't think he has that concept, but he does have the realization of if everyone has a true name, then it would make sense that what do personal names mean in this language? Do they give power over people? Like, and then like Brahms' eyes brighten with approval, and he's like, "Yeah, you got it," kind of thing. So I really like that. Anyway, so sorry. Continue.
No, thanks for drawing attention to that because it is a moment of like Eragon is intelligent.
Yeah,
like Eragon is intelligent, and his mind wants to work through why and how and what and like and I love that about Eragon as a character.
Yes.
And that Brahm, and I think this is something like my writing tip from the last one of like character growth, like Brahm being like the heightened of approval of like, yeah, exactly, you got it. Like acknowledging those moments where Eragon's like thinking about things. Because sometimes Eragon doesn't think about things. Yeah. And I think that's what actually makes Brahm mad. He's like, no, you're smarter than this.
You nailed it.
I think
he's like, I know you are better than this. Why are you being so...
He's 15 years old.
Yeah, he's 15, yep.
Mm-hmm. He's on a revenge quest. Just give him this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the idea of like, yeah, it's very much like you can... What is it? How does Brahm say it? It's like putting your life into another person's hands to like tell someone your true name.
Yeah.
And it's like... It's very... Because it's interesting. It's like, it doesn't say exactly what someone else knowing your true name would mean in this section.
Yeah.
But you can tell it'd be dangerous.
Yes.
The elves instinctively know theirs, but no one else does it, and human writers can like find it out.
Yeah.
And Eragon's like, oh, I'd want to know mine. And Brahm's like, dude, that's like that can be really dangerous. Like, just to know who you are entirely stripped bare of everything can be rough. And it's like, yeah, it's like going to therapy.
Yep.
And like being honest in those moments of like doing that like shadow work and having to like really assess yourself and be honest. And like sometimes that can suck because you want to be the right in every situation and dealing through these things. But sometimes you have to acknowledge that you fucked up.
Yeah, like you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to be right, but you're in the wrong. And going back, like, I think like your name, like knowing your true name is like, you might understand your faults, but your true name outlines is what I'm assuming, at least, is like your name would basically outline everything. You're good, you're bad, everything in between.
Yeah.
And that's like, I really like Brahms, like, if it wouldn't break you. I don't know the line.
Oh, I've got it. Yeah. But as much as the name will give others power, so you may gain power over yourself if the truth doesn't break you.
Yeah.
And Saphira, I'm sure that it would not. Our vain dragon.
Yep.
I love her.
Absolutely.
And even knowing all this, Eragon's like, I still want to know.
Yeah, I still want to know.
He's like, oh, you're not so easily dissuaded. That is good, for only the resolute find their identity. But I cannot help you with this. And then we pivot because Brom's arm still injured.
Yep.
And Eragon's like, why can't you or I heal with magic? Brom blinked. No reason. I just never considered it because it's beyond my strength. He's just like, oh, I hadn't actually thought of doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because he says, you could probably do it with the right word, but I don't want you to exhaust yourself. And Eragon's like, yeah, but like, let me help.
Like, I could help. It would save you a lot of trouble and pain.
I'll just live with it. Using magic to heal a wound takes as much energy as it would to mend on its own. I don't want you tired for the next few days. You shouldn't attempt such a difficult task yet.
Yep. And again, we go back to magic has a cost. And it's like, it would still take as much energy to heal on its own as it would for Eragon to heal it.
And I love that.
Yeah. And it's because it's like, and it would take the next few days to heal. And he's saying Eragon would be exhausted for the next few days kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, it's so good.
Yep. I very much, that's something that is like I love magic needing energy. I can give or take depending on what the story. I think it's used so well here and how Lena sets it up. I have in the story I'm working on, I don't have magic as a whole taking energy from the user because it is often like you're converting energy from something else by the different things. I haven't decided on that yet. I'm still working on it. But healing magic is the thing specifically that, and I'm not sure why it's different, but it is the thing that takes energy from the person being healed. I think that's why, because it's like it is making their body like accelerate the healing process and take that energy. And in this like balancing act, like that can be incredibly dangerous for someone who's badly hurt. Like if you try to heal them all at once, they may just die from exhaustion. And so there's like the healers in this narrative also have to learn this like really delicate art of using their own personal energy in healing and not giving too much of themselves and messing up. And so is it just so I can have super dramatic excellent romance moments of characters using each other's energy to heal? Yes, shut up.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm writing here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yep.
But I don't know. I like healing magic is always a thing that, because wounds and energy and physical like harm is such a cost, that if you could just snap your fingers and heal something, it takes that threat away so quickly. So I like it when healing like magic costs is more personal, because like healing and medicine and care, I think it feels more personal.
Yeah.
And, well, that's not what's happening here because any spell would cost that kind of cost. I like it. I don't know. I just wanted to highlight because I like it when healing magic is specifically a cost.
Yeah, absolutely. And then like kind of along those same lines, like Eragon asks if like, well, if I could heal someone, could I bring someone back from the dead? And Brom's like, no. Because he's like, remember what I said about projects that will kill you? This is one of them. And just talking about, I love the sentence, there is an abyss beyond life where magic means nothing. If you reach into it, your strength will flee and your soul will fade into darkness. And I like how he says wizards, sorcerer, and writers have all failed and died on that threshold. So it's like, people continue to try, and without fail, they all die.
They just can't do this. Like
it is impossible.
And I love that it's not even like, oh, if you try, you'll just use up all of your energy in the attempt and then die. It is the idea that death is beyond magic.
Yeah, it's like in a realm of its own.
Yeah, and it's not like trying to pour all your energy into reviving a corpse. It's like reaching out into something else that you're not meant to touch, and the fact that in touching it, it'll pull you in instantly. I think that is so spooky cool.
It's so spooky cool.
That's very, very cool.
Absolutely.
And that's also important, I think, like right out the gate, like if you're playing in a magic system, you don't want to not suddenly have stakes, and death is like, nope, you die. You're not playing with that
die.
game.
Yep, you don't do that.
Yep. It is very good. And Eragon's like, frowned. Eragon frowned. This is a lot more complex than I thought.
Yep.
Exactly. And if you don't understand what you're doing, you'll try something too big and die.
Yep. It's like, that's, I guess, like, that's, again, going back to the magic is simple. It's like, if you try something too big, you die.
It is simple.
Yep.
But it's also like, it's like, I don't know, what's that game? Oh, it takes a second to learn, but a lifetime to master.
Yeah.
It's like that. It is simple. But nah. But nah.
Yep. And then and then we get to the pebble.
We get to the pebble. I love the pebble.
I love the
Eragon
pebble.
hates the pebble. I love how angry Eragon gets at the end.
And it almost shows again where, like, when they first started training with the sticks, where Eragon is like, this is too hard, I quit. And Brahm's like, no. And like that's again. Like with this is like, he's like, this is impossible, I can't do it. He's like, no.
I will tell you what is impossible. Yeah. No. Hey, look at me. I will tell you what is impossible. You just do what I say.
Just do what I say, exact. And it's I love it so much. I also find he has a hurt arm, but he twisted in his saddle and swooped down, grabbing a handful of pebbles from the ground. With effort, he rightened himself, then discarded all but one of the rocks. I don't know if y'all have seen a horse.
Hey, horses are big.
Horses are real big. And he just went, whoop.
How long are Brahm's arms?
How tall is Brahm? Maybe it's a short horse, but also
this is Snowfire.
This is Snowfire. Snowfire is supposed to be the most magical, tallest horse of them all. Yeah. And he has an injured arm. And it's like he struggled to get back up, but I'm like, Brahm, you would have fallen off that horse, my dude. But it's fine. It's fine for... They didn't want to stop walking.
That's so funny.
I just was like, he just scoop, and I'm like, I don't know if that's possible or not.
Just orangutan arms all of a sudden.
Just real arms. It would have been fun if he just said something in magic and a stone came into his hand.
Yeah. But fine.
But it's okay.
So he gives him a pebble, and it basically is like, hold it in the air.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple. I like this training way more than the intro to the sword training. Maybe because he's like, no, we have to take this one very specific, because if the sword training, you'll just get a lot of bruises and be pissed. This one you could die. So we're going to do it differently.
We're going to do it. Yeah. It's more intricate.
Yeah, I appreciate that there's a different approach. And Eragon has a very like fixed mindset where if he's not good at something immediately, he does get frustrated. Yeah. And he does just, I quit. And Brahm says, no. And he keeps doing it. But he is able to, like, it's weird, though, because the spell he's using here is not in italicized. Maybe because it doesn't work? No, the pebble wobbled into the air.
No, it does work. That is interesting. I didn't clock that.
An oversight?
It might have been oversight. It's called Stenoriza.
Yeah,
what it,
Stonerize.
Yep.
Maybe because it's a phrase?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Like, maybe it was just an oversight.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it does. And it's so good. And he still plays with himself. I talk a little bit more about how the symbol, what is that pronounced?
Well, what is?
On his palm.
Oh, the Gedway Ignacia.
The Gedway Ignacia. How it glows, and they're like, we're going to have to get you some gloves.
Yeah.
We don't want that showing off to everybody.
And I do like how he says, again, with the lore, talking about, what does he say? I have it highlighted. The writers always preferred to channel their power through whichever hand bore the Gedway Ignacia. So it's like that, in whatever reason, has more magical potency than the other arm
like
without.
They could do it, but it's harder.
I do. It's just like that little detail that I like. That the arm that they touch they first touch their dragon is
probably usually their dominant hand anyway.
Yeah.
So
yep.
And Eragon just has to lift this pebble over and over again, and I love this. They continued with the exercises throughout most of the day. When Eragon finally stopped, he was tired and ill-tempered. In those hours, he'd come to hate the pebble and everything about it.
Yep. And it's like, I love, like, he started to throw away, and Brahm's like, no, you're going to keep
the pebble. And
he's like, no! Like, literally any other pebble but this one.
I hate the pebble.
I do like that.
Really funny.
Yeah. I also just want to go back real quick talk about how the first time Eragon tries to consciously get into his magical abilities is very difficult for him. But when he finally gets into it, it shatters like a thin pane of grass, and then he's flooded, and he's like, whoa! And it's like in the book he whispers Stenoriza, because he's just like, whoa, that was a lot, like, just, oh my god, all of a sudden magic everywhere. So I like the fact that it's like, oh, he can do magic, but like he's not used to it yet, so it is a struggle. And then it's like, not only is breaking into his magic a struggle, but holding it is also a struggle. So I like that he has these two hurdles he has to get past, is first accessing it and then holding it, and he's very bad at first. So I really like it's like we're getting these, we know what happens if someone abuses magic, they die, but it's also like difficult to even use it at first.
Yeah.
So I really Paulini.
No, it's I love it, and it demonstrates like you have to work on it. It's a skill. Practice
absolutely
is a skill, and only writers have. Eragon asks about the mark, and only Brom says he's like, oh, Eragon's like, do you have a mark of your own? No, only writers have them. He's like, also, you should know that magic is affected by distance, like an arrow or a spear. It's another magic thing. It's like, it'll be harder to do magic over farther away.
Yep.
So if you're trying to do something like that, like, get closer.
Yep.
And I thought that was,
the distance impacts, which is, yes. And then, like, going into, like, the last part, it's almost like a page. Last page of the chapter is we get an overview of what their days turn into. It's just it's almost scheduled. Like, it's just showing Eragon practicing. I don't know. I really like how the days followed in the same pattern. First, Eragon struggled to learn the ancient words and to manipulate the pebble. Then in the evening, he trained against Brom with fixed words. And he was in constant discomfort, but he gradually began to change almost without noticing. And so it's like, I just love the fact that it's like while they're on the road, they're not doing nothing. They are like Brom is constantly trying to train him and educate him and do all these things, and I really like that.
Yep, and Eragon is getting better. The pebble doesn't wobble anymore. He like knows more of the language. He's like faster, more confident when they're sparring. Like, it's great. I also love like Saphira is also getting like bigger, not as quickly as she was before, but still growing, taller than the horses. But because of her size and the way her scales sparkled, she was altogether too visible. Brom and Eragon worried about it, but they could not convince her to allow dirt to obscure her scintillating hide. And they're a little bit more vanity. We're like, we should so you don't like sparkle so much. She's like, don't be ridiculous.
She's like, I'm a dragon. I'm gonna sparkle, and y'all are gonna have to deal with
not
it.
Be putting dirt on my scales. Yeah. Like, Saphira.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh shoot! But you want to talk about this dream Eragon has the night before they get to the next village?
That's
like,
nightmarish.
What is this?
Like, that is not like that is true nightmare fuel. Like, absolutely.
He saw Garo and Rowan at home, sitting in the destroyed kitchen. They asked him for help rebuilding the farm, but he only shook his head with a pang of longing in his heart. I'm tracking your killers, he whispered to his uncle. Garo looked at him askance and demanded, Do I look dead to you? I can't help you, said Eragon softly, feeling tears in his eyes. There was a sudden roar, and Garo transformed into the Razek. Then die, they hissed and leapt at Eragon. He woke feeling ill and watched the stars slowly turning in the sky. All will be well, little one, said Saphira gently. Yeah, wow, sorry, man.
Like, that's rough.
I don't know what that just seems like a nightmare. I don't even think that's prophetic. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude.
That's just a straight up nightmare. And like, I'm pretty sure it's like the grief of Garo and then the guilt of not having Rowan there or telling Rowan or being there
or leaving Rowan. This, like, Rowan has to rebuild and he's just gone.
Absolutely. And I think like that just plays into this horrifying nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's so bad. But
I also think it's like Eragon acknowledging, he's like, I'm tracking your killers, but I can't help you, Garo.
Yeah.
And also kind of like, it feels like maybe it's supposed to also acknowledge that like tracking the killers is not really helping Garo.
Yeah.
Like, what would have helped Garo is if he had stayed with Rowan.
Yeah.
And been there for Rowan to rebuild the farm and like all of those things that his uncle had cared so far about and or so much about. And instead he left to go track down the killers for himself.
Yep.
I mean, that is him acknowledging, it's like, I can't do anything for you. I'm literally doing this for me. And that's not, like, there's no judgment in that.
Yeah.
Like, or at least not from me as the reader. Like, it's not good or bad. That's just what Eragon has to do now.
It's also, like, who knows what would have happened if Eragon stayed, too. Like, I don't know if Eragon could have stayed.
Yeah. Things are starting to get. Yeah, things are starting to get.
Yep.
Oh, all right, Lucy, what is your writing takeaway?
So I know last one it was kind of like, I'm gonna kind of a little similar theme to last episode, where last episode I said something like, think of good like consequences for magic. This one is like, think about like, you don't have to have one source of magic.
Yeah.
Like, you can think of like, have fun with it. Like, think of like different ways, like, because I know even in Dungeons and Dragons, like they have people are just inherently magical and things like that. But then there's also like patrons where they get their powers from a deity or what's the opposite of a deity? What's that?
Infernal.
And I'm thinking of Skyrim now. There's the, oh my gosh. like a demon, but
Yeah.
there's a different word for a demon. I can't think of it
Yeah.
right now. It's like, yeah, but it's and they don't have to be like evil or anything, but they're just like from not like a god, but from a powerful magical source. Patron, I think, is the best way to describe that.
Yeah.
So just like just have fun with it, and I
Mhm.
think like that's it's like you can have fun with it. Like magic, rules are important because it does make it feel more realistic, but
Yeah.
again, just have fun with it. Just you don't have to have one source. Play around, think of different ways, like things like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think oftentimes I prefer soft magic systems.
Yeah.
I think because the nature in which a hard magic system is explained can be like tedious.
Yeah.
But whichever magic system I think you're going to play with, you as the creator should know the rules for it and be consistent with the nature of it. Like soft magic systems don't have necessarily rules, or at least they're not explained. It's like Avatar is a soft magic system.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do the benders do any of this?
Yeah.
And that's what makes it a soft magic. It's just like there's rules like some people can do this, and that's the only rule of it. Is that if you can do it, you can do it.
Yep. And like that's interesting. I'm not trying to like
go on.
We don't have to go off on a whole tangent, but there's also interesting because that must have something to do with nerves and the ability in the arm, because Ty Lee can stop people bending. And they're not
like
they don't
an
become
energy.
numb. They just it's chakras. She blocks the chakras.
Yeah, there's chakras.
Anyway.
Yeah, there is that like Eastern like concept
Yeah.
of like the energy and the flow and stuff. But that's never explained what it does exactly as why that is a thing that they can do, or why an eclipse stops the firebenders.
Yeah.
It just does.
Yeah.
Or why the comet empowers them. It just does.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yep.
Because the story around it is so tightly told and all those pieces are consistent.
Yep.
And then in like other ones that have like a very hard magic system, like Eragon, it's very like you can do this XYZ. And I think that's also that can be equally fun. Like I don't think one or the other is better or more interesting. I think it's just like as a writer, as a storyteller, identify your magic system and commit to it.
Yeah. I
think that's what's most important, is just committing to the nature of your magic system and just being consistent to your own internal rules, even if you don't reveal all of those rules to your reader.
Yep.
What? Okay, now I can do the one that I wanted to do last time.
Okay.
Reader, or dear listener, what is your favorite magic system?
Woo.
And
Yes.
why? Really think about this. Really think about why you as a person resonate with this. I want a 500-word essay really examining your personal connection. No, I don't care. But no, like,
I will not be reading the 500-word essay.
I will. No, hit us up over on Instagram, Eragon Hart, and just tell us about your favorite magic system.
Absolutely.
Because it's interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
And until next time, she's Lucy Hart.
And she's Darien Smartt.
And this is Eragon
And Back Again.